Good day, classmates. Today, we will be demonstrating on how to properly and safely use a laboratory centrifuge. I am Brent Marcos Amacable, accompanied by my partner,
Charles Lawrence, and Amparo.
and yeah.
Read the operating instruction in full before starting up and follow the safety instructions. Keep the operation instruction in a place where they can be accessed by everyone. Ensure that only trained staff work with the instrument. Ensure the socket be earthed protective ground contact. Ensure wall outlet socket in convenient place where it could disconnect the electrical cord immediately in case of emergency. Forbid move the instrument during centrifugation process. Warnings. Check the rotor before using for running. Any cracks, even small size, cause risks for rotor broken during high-speed revolution. Forbid use rotor with cracks. Forbid use rotor with corrosion defects. Forbid use rotor exceed life cycle. When maintaining the instrument, disconnect the supply at least 3 minutes before disassemble the front cover. Otherwise, cause risk of electric shock.
But before all that, we would need to wear PPE or personal protective equipment, which are lab gown, gloves, and goggles, as you can see. Now that we have our personal protective equipment, we can now demonstrate on how to properly and safely use a centrifuge.
A centrifuge is a laboratory device that uses rapid spinning to separate substances of a different densities. It is commonly used in medical, biological, and chemistry laboratories.
First step, you would need tubes. A set of 2 or 4 so it will be balanced since it would be facing each other in the centrifuge, and it should have equal amounts of volume and tightly capped to avoid leakage. And since it will have equal amounts of volume, it would avoid damage to the centrifuge. And now we would now open the centrifuge, which you would need to open a switch here. Now, as you can see, it's now open. You can now press this one, which says open, to open the centrifuge. Now we have opened our centrifuge. We should first inspect if it's clean, of course, before usage. And now, after cleaning and stuff, we will now open the rotor, which you should just spin counterclockwise. And now it's open. Here we will put our tubes. There are a lot of options, but the biggest one is for 250 ml. The size next to that is for 50 ml, and the smallest one is for 10 ml. As you can see. Now we will be putting our tubes that have equal amounts of volume. As you can see, when I first mentioned that, they should be facing each other. It should be a set of 2s, as you can see, 2s or 4s. So it will be balanced. Now we will be seeing the rotor. Now that's properly sealed, we will close the centrifuge. Now we will demonstrate on how to use the centrifuge. First, we will talk about speed. Speed, you can adjust the speed on how fast. It can go from 300 to 15,000 RPMs, but we will only set it to 600. For time, we can set the minutes and the seconds, but for now, we will only set it to 1 minute. As you can see, there. And for the temperature, here, you can set the temperature here. We will set it to 25. Now we can start the cycle. As you can see, it's now starting. The RPMs are rising. It's accelerating. While it is accelerating, you cannot open the centrifuge, and you will have to wait for the timer to finish. And as you can see here, the temperature is supposed to be rising. Yeah. As you can see, as the timer finishes, the RPM is now going down. And after that, the centrifuge will automatically open. Now we can access our tubes by opening the rotor. And when getting your tubes, your test tubes, you should take it, get it slowly, since it is now separated. As you can see, the sand is now separated from the water. Of course, after using the centrifuge, you should put it all correctly. First, we will put back the rotor. As you can see, it should be sealed tightly, correct? And we would clean some of the dirt since it has been used, so that the next person who would use it would see it clean. Now, we will be closing the centrifuge. You would hear a clicking sound when closing the centrifuge. And now it's done, we can turn it off. And of course, lastly, clean the centrifuge itself, or the exterior of the centrifuge, to maintain the equipment in our laboratory. And that would be all for properly and safely operating a centrifuge. Thank you for listening.